When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and out. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. You see the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and out. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in.
Wake up. Quiet night. No sound.
Zach Martin, welcome to the Cowboys experience.
Quiet night.
Wide receiver Michael. All right, if I can go.
This is Michael Gallo. Welcome to the Cowboys experience.
Streets up. Yeah. Okay. Wake the streets up. Okay. Come on. Okay. Wake the streets up. Yeah. Come on. Wake the streets up. Yeah. Okay. Wake up. Quiet night. No sound.
Zach Martin, welcome to the Cowboys experience.
Quiet night.
Wide receiver Michael. All right, if I can go.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man, and we are live in the building, man. How are you guys doing this afternoon? Well, actually this evening. This is actually evening now. You know what I'm saying? It's actually evening in Cali, it's evening in Texas, and it's evening out there in Florida on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man, I got my Cowboy cousin on the line, man, so you guys already know what it is, man. I got the boss on your line. What up with you, man?
What's going on? West Coast, how are you?
I'm doing great, How are you doing this fine evening?
Excellent, Poindexter. Excellent.
Poindexter, I will say, I will declare. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Hey, I was reading my Instagram comments and they was crazy. Half was about questions and other half was about West Coast, why you ain't answering my question like you do on Facebook. So I promise you, I'm gonna be answering questions on Instagram today. I bet you that won't happen again. I bet you it won't happen again. You know what I'm saying? So let me shout out some folks on Instagram. Joe Solomon, what up with you? UDR grad, what up with you? Chick Daddy, what up with you? Foe Firmware, what up with you? NBA Alex 214 West Coast. Who's next? Sports, what's up with you, man? Wow, that was a rookie move. Huge rookie move. My bad. But guess what? That was producer G saying he was gonna hit me up tonight to make sure my sound was good. So that was actually a good move. D-Lee Lonia Media, what's up with you? How you doing today? It is your boy West Coast. What's up with you guys on Facebook? Boss Cowboy, can you see any of our scouts on Facebook?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm on my page, so my boy Ryan, you know, he's checking us out right now. And then Nathan, the loyal. I mean, Nathan go to work, man. He clocked in everywhere, man. I always see Nathan. He sent me pictures with us sitting on his TV screen with his feet kicked up. So, you know, he really got it going on. And obviously we see my boy Willie. He said, yeah.
What's up, Willie?
Yeah, so everybody clocked in, man. They ready for the evening show.
All right, man, let's get this thing popping, man. Yo, I got an email from Facebook, man. Like, it was kind of weird. I wouldn't even go open it, but the Lord said, I got you, West Coast. So I opened the email, and the email said that for whatever reason, my show is not showing up in you guys' media feeds until the 14th. So make sure, to the 17th. So that's, 6 more days. So make sure you guys share, man. Make sure you guys share the content so that we can make sure that nobody misses out on the content. That's the worst thing that we would want here is that someone to be out there thinking that Ezekiel Elliott's not going to get paid because the Cowboys don't value the running back, and then guess what? He get paid, and you be like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? We don't want that to happen. So, we got a bunch of subjects we got to run through tonight. We got a couple things we want to talk about. I know I told you. Well, actually, let's do some updates first. let's do some updates. Let's get into some updates before we go into. I want to finish looking at. I do want to finish looking at the Dak Prescott's touchdowns. Well, actually, let's just you want to finish that up, and then we can kind of go into.
Yeah, I mean, because it's some misinformation out there about it. Give us a chance to address it, and it's we get 1 week to enjoy greatness. Our quarterback was voted NFC Player of the Week out of all players, so let's enjoy it right now. And then plus, he's looking to get enumerated. It's a whole lot of reasons we should look at Dak through these last couple of touchdowns before we move to the Redskins.
Okay, and absolutely, man. That's why I'm gonna pull this up right now. But this last touchdown I wanted to look at, honestly, is I'm gonna call this Dak Prescott being Tony Romo. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all probably thinking, what West Coast? What is you talking about? Dak Prescott being Tony Romo? Even when I said it, my boy Boss Cowboy said, West Coast, don't say that. But I'll say it, man, because I remember when Romo said this statement. Romo said this statement about Dez throw up the X Bryant. He said that if Dez Bryant ever has one-on-one coverage with no safety help, he's getting the ball. Period. Don't matter what where we are on the field. Don't matter if it's 3rd and 6. Don't matter if it's 4th and 1 in Lambeau Field, and we got DeMarco Murray who's already rushed for 121 yards. No matter what that situation was, he was gonna test his man, his guy, and give him action. And Boss Cowboy, that's exactly what happened on this 3rd touchdown. Boss, my boy Dak, man. I think I can call him my boy Dak. My boy Dak, man. The play calling is just so disgusting because this is a play that actually identifies what defenses you're in. Why? Because they come out with Cobb lined up on the left-hand side with Amari Cooper. Now, when Dak Prescott called for the motion, 2 things are going to happen. When Cobb moves, it's gonna reveal what defense they're in. Why? Because if the quarterback run comes with them, that means they're in what, Boss Cowboy?
Man coverage.
They're in man coverage. If he doesn't come with Cobb, that means they're in what?
Zone, one of the zones, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. Generally, because you don't motion over generally. Some defenses disguise it, but generally, especially when you look at the single high and not everybody's pressed up, this is 100% man coverage. 100%
man coverage. So I need a question, right? Now, this is what. Actually, let me finish talking about it, then I'll ask the question. Now, on this play, what Dak recognizes one is that they have man coverage on Amari Cooper and there is no safety. All I really got to do is just throw the ball out there so Cooper can get it. Now, the difference, if this was Tony Romo and Dez, what do you think Tony Romo would have did with the ball?
I mean, of course, he's throwing this.
But he's going to put it up where? He's going to put it in the air.
He go hot corner with Dez. I mean, with Dez, and now I get what you mean by he was Romo. So basically, it was automatic generally with Romo and Dez. And if it was one-on-one press coverage, especially on a rookie like this one, that ball was coming.
You're getting the ball, bro.
And Romo was checking out whatever play it was. He was checking out. If he saw this look, he was throwing this. And it was more than likely to be a high point ball. Matter of fact, Romo and Dez practicing so much, they said, are we going to do anything else? But unless you know off season, and that Dak and Cooper worked together so much this offseason that it was automatic. It was like dropping the bucket.
Yeah. I mean, and I absolutely loved this because the play design was really nice too. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys had some type of motion and movement on 40% of every play that they did on Sunday, and this was another play right here where this is just like some John Madden. Like, this is what I said earlier. This is Kellen Moore playing John Madden, and not only that he's playing John Madden, that he's playing to the strength of Dak Prescott. Like, this is really not a hard ball to throw. Like, the most important thing that makes this play work is not even the throw. It's the identification that you have it. Because the throw is simply just 1-2 step, put it in the air. And that's all he did, and Coop went and got it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of dimeish because the corner recognized it too. And the corner bailed quickly. Watch the corner on this. You'll see it right here. Corner bails quick. He didn't even give Cooper enough opportunity. I mean, he tried to close the gap as quickly as possible, but it was too late because the ball was already in the air. So all Cooper had to do is get to the ball before the DB did. So, all those thoughts. I mean, this is, these are mental reps, man. This is mental stuff that takes a quarterback from being a okay quarterback, which you guys say he's been an okay average quarterback, to something pretty damn decent, man. Especially if he's able to build on this.
Yeah, and I like how you clarify, because it is like Romo, but different. And I don't think a lot of people caught what you're saying. See, because you asked me what type of ball Romo would have threw. Right, so, and that's a very important difference, right? So in this situation, Cooper threw it to where Cooper could get under it. Romo used to throw it at a high point fade to where he was going to let Dez out athleticism somebody, I would say. You know what I mean? He was going to just be a better athlete because Dez didn't have the speed to get up under it. So you're looking at two different types of receivers, and one that fit Dak, and then the other one fit a touch passer like Romo. Dez, with somebody like Dez, you have to have golf touch, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're putting the ball at the right spot, and that's what Romo game was. Dak is somebody that can lead you. You know what I mean? So it's like Romo, but still perfectly fitting Dak this time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The Romo connection that I'm going with is the fact that Dak Prescott, not even the fact of how he throw it, because the cool thing about it is if Dak would have tried to high point this ball with Amari Cooper, that would have made no sense because that's not Amari Cooper's strength. Like, you tell me a time where Amari Cooper made a jump ball on a pass, and that's not Amari Cooper. Like, Amari Cooper's going to beat you in his route or in his break. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes him effective, and it's cool because we have different wide receivers who can do different things. You know what I'm saying? I think that's probably why why Noah Brown keeps hanging around, because I think they think at some point he'll be a cheap version of someone who can jump. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where that came out of. That just came out of nowhere. But, I mean, the one thing I love about this play is the fact that this is Dak Prescott saying that my athlete is better than yours, and this is them saying that, hey, at some point when we have this, I'm coming to you. And Dak did it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I've heard some bloggers say that what Dak Prescott is looking off the safety. Like, no, not looking off the safety, that he's going through his progressions. No, he's not going through his progressions. I'm going to be honest with you, on all of these touchdowns, it wasn't really nothing about progressions. What I've seen on all these touchdowns, I actually think Dak knew that some of these were touchdowns before he hiked the ball. Why? Because he read the damn coverage. Like, it was obvious. Like, these touchdowns are obvious. And that's why I said if I'm the New York Football Giants, like, I'm looking at the defense and I'm like there was not other than this play right here where you just got beat by a better athlete. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, this game is on the defensive coordinator, man. Like, because they were just where the open holes were, they were going there.
Right. This is where a defense kind of bought into the hype. The hype has always been, and they said it everywhere. If I was a coordinator, the way that I would beat the Dallas Cowboys is I would stack the box, stop Zeke, and dare Dak to beat me with his arm. But damn it, you got what you want.
You got what you want.
Got what you want. And another thing, like that look off was definitely not going through progressions. That was to freeze the safety.
Yep.
Because if he looks right where he's throwing, then that single high just takes off, right?
Yep.
But he takes one look to the right, which freezes the safety, then he automatically throws it. Everything he did mechanically was perfect. Feet work, head to freeze the safety, knowing exactly where he was going with the look, knowing that he's going against a rookie. If you look real close, watch the rookie first steps. You can tell he's nervous, he's antsy, he backing up off Cooper. You know you're going against a star. You're getting ready to get burned, buddy. So, this game was like a real life warning to everybody that's out there. I was talking to one of the scouts, Anthony Turrell. We was just talking ball before we got on the show, and he asked me a real good question. I want to kind of spin it to you, West Coast. He said, do you think this game will actually open it up for Zeke?
Do I believe? Yeah, absolutely, because Like, but I mean, the thing about it is, it's like even though we paid Zeke Elliott all the money, I think people got the notion that now that we paid him the money, that we're about to be handing him the ball and doing like, no, like you paid him the money not because you're going to give him the ball on every single play. You hand him the money because when you do hand him the ball, he's different on every play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to look at Zeke differently. Like you want Zeke to be the icing on the cake. So it's like if a team can't, I mean, the biggest issue that Zeke has, not even has, any running back has, is running against 8 and 9 man in the box. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you're going to get that other man out the box is by throwing the ball. Part of the reason why Zeke always had so many men in the box is because he really never was with a team that aired the ball out. Even in college, they were a run-based team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why Zeke made the infamous comment, you know, I've been running against, 8 and 9 men, 8 men in the box since I think he said since he was like since he was 8 or something. And it makes sense because most teams, when they get Zeke, you know what you say? I have the greatest guy on the field. I'm about to run the ball on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say, bro. But nobody actually sits back and be like, I'm about to throw the ball, and then guess what? When Zeke does run, he's going to get 5, 7, 8 yards per carry. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So absolutely. Like, I want to see. Go ahead.
Sorry. We was discussing that as well. And real quick, man, I want to have a quick shout out to my Cowboys family. They was at Cowboy experience with us. West Coast. We talked Cowboy football for 3 hours after the Cowboy experience. When I say they crack addict football, Dallas Cowboy, knowledgeable family, man, I'm talking about, I love every moment. So thank y'all for being on the show.
Yeah, and the Holy Spirit just convicted me too. I know I need to send the video out. We did a ridiculous video, and I'm gonna be sending that to everybody's email. I just gotta upload it, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. The first day back, I slept all day.
We all did too. I forgot about that. But at the same time, going back to Zeke, yes, I do believe it is. This is a type of game that put everybody on our schedule on watch, right?
Right.
Because you're going there with that cockamamie philosophy anymore with the way Dak aired it out. You just can't. Like, you'll be foolish to say, oh, we think that was just an anomaly game. We think that was just a one-off game. No, Dak aired these balls out. So when you have a defense now have to say, okay, we have to prepare for Cobb. We have to account for Cooper. We have to account for Gallup. Because I know this from, obviously playing college football, but from what my defensive coordinators taught me, everybody might have a different philosophy. The biggest thing that all defenses have to protect against first is 4 verticals, is what they taught me. 4 vertical routes is what all defense first philosophy-wise have to stop. And the fact that we was bombing these balls vertically, it put the whole schedule on notice that the philosophy to stack the box, and that's how we gonna stop the Cowboys. Because now you can just get burned to death.
Oh my mama, you can get burned to death.
Right. And
Cajun style.
This was so genius in so many ways by Kelly Moore. You know what I mean? Because now you put film out there that says, yeah, we can just put 53 yards with Zeke, and we can put 400 yards in the air before 3 quarters.
Yeah, and I absolutely like it, man. I'm looking at some comments. What's up on YouTube? West Coast, he's talking about Tonko. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Flip the Hot Boys logo is backwards. I know, but that's, it'd be like that sometime. Taco is an asset. We hear that. My boy A Boo says, so you no longer a Dak hater, West Coast? When people say Dak haters and Romo and this person haters, I always go to their player's profile and want to see how old they are. Because when I see the word haters and stuff like that, that lets me know that you might be young enough to still think that people fall in love with players. I am 37 years old, through in and through out, a Cowboy fan. You know what I'm saying? If you can find a video where West Coast is talking negative about Dak Prescott and I do not have film to back it up on that same video, well, you're not going to find it. But, I mean, if you can find it, inbox me. But you will never find anything, not even positive. Like, I won't even say nothing positive about my quarterback without having film. Like, kind of like what we're doing right now. Like, I wouldn't even do that. Why? Because it's not about my opinion of someone. It's about what the film say. You know what I'm saying? My first post from training camp was this. Here, you guys get ready, but I'm about to say it. Your quarterback has gotten better. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and see, like,
he got better. That's what I mean.
And let's talk about this for a second, because first of all, this segues perfectly to a great comment that came from my Cowboys fan. Okay, we said we all have to give Jason Garrett credit.
Yep.
Okay, and one thing that I really enjoyed when I was talking to them, and they have their own YouTube show where they spend time like every day talking about the Cowboys as we do, right? One of the things that we both agreed while we was having a 3-hour discussion about the Cowboys is that sometimes every one of us is going to be wrong. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about what's true. And as truth change, so should we. So, like, and the fact that, you know, a lot of us been very mad at Jason Garrett. And one of the best comments so far on this thread is from my Cowboys family who said we all got to give Jason Garrett credit. And I agree.
Yeah.
You have to give Jason Garrett credit for giving even more the autonomy to do what he did.
Yep.
And one of the biggest indications that he has autonomy is the usage of Jason Witten. We're going to talk about that because I wrote an article about that that's coming out in 2 days. The editors got to look at it. But anyway, I did a deep dive into how the signal from from Witten is really signaling the empowerment of Kellen Moore, you know? And that takes real leadership to say, the guy that was basically like a statue to our locker room, the guy that was getting 97% of snaps, has now been humbled down under Kellen Moore to where he was only 66% of the snaps in this offense. And that's real big. I mean, that's real big. And that takes a lot of change coming from your head coach who loves Jason Witten. You know what I mean? So we all have to sometimes humble ourselves and not be the type of people that because we was against Dak one time or against Jason Garrett one time, that doesn't give us the permission to concrete our opinion to where it can never change.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of like how it's supposed to be. Not trying to give this subject too much attention, but like my thing is this, like, you know, I wanted to take a picture right now because I was so proud. I got all 3 of my kids sitting at the table. My daughter used to have a problem with this math. You know what I'm saying? So I went out, got a private teacher, and guess what? The teacher started working with her on her math. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Now she gets better grades in her math. But the way we treated her and the things she had to do when she wasn't as good in her math, she don't have to do those things. We don't view her. She don't got to do her flashcards. She don't do those things. Why? Because she's picked up the habits. So it's like as the facts change, your opinion should change. That's the biggest issue that people have, and I think that's the biggest issue people have with me on how my opinion on Dak Prescott has changed. It's only changed because the facts have changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I was presented with factual evidence, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I can't think that way. Prime example, I was a main guy saying Dak should get $23 million. I think he should get $23 million. Boss Cowboy got on here. He showed me statistically on how a franchise quarterback is supposed to get at least 15.5 to 16% of the salary cap. I said, okay, that makes sense. There's more than enough examples to show he should get that type of money. So, what is the salary cap? $189 million. What's 16%? Well, do the math. Huh?
Yeah, $30 million at that time.
It was $30 million at that time, and guess what? This was 4 or 5 months ago. I changed my opinion on how much Dak should get paid. I started saying then he should get the $30 million. Why? Because that's what a franchise quarterback's getting. So my thing is this, y'all, and this is what you should take in life in general. If you have a thought about something, as soon as the facts change, you have to change, or you're a hater. You're a hater. Like, I would be a hater to be sitting up here looking at film of Dak just out here dog walking folks and not being like, dang, I like that. Like, I know, you know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy.
Hey, West Coast, look, this is how some people, because they so concrete stuck on hating Dak, this is how they smiling about Sunday.
Yeah. Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. We need to stop all this Dak fans, this Tony Romo fans. No, you need to be a fan of quarterback one. Whoever quarterback one is, that's who your fan is.
Like, be happy. Like, this is a time, like somebody said. I posted in the group, I said, Dak is the NFC player of the week. Somebody said, I can't wait till he throws 3 interceptions.
I know.
I said, come on, man. But anyway, the next topic.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a joyous time. Let's just stop with all the Dak fans. Hey, no, you were a fan of the star. You were a Cowboy fan. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cowboy.
One more thing, I promise. One more. Okay?
Shoot.
Just one on this subject. Also, I'm gonna give everybody a threshold to change their mind, because one of my best friends, Anthony Turner, we was having a Dak debate in his rookie year, and he said, "Man, Romo should start, bro. I mean, this is a good team." And I was saying, man, I like Dak's style. He protects the football. I think he fit us better, bro. I know he knew, but he fit us better. Because my risk tolerance was a little bit different from his. He said, I tell you what, Marcus, if he pull out that Pittsburgh game, I'm going to ride with it. Because that was his threshold. It was different from mine. It don't mean he was wrong. It don't mean he was loyal. It's just that that's what he needed to see. Some people jumped on year 1, some people year 2, some people year 3, some people might not do it until after year 4.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as you come around to the family, I don't care. You know what I
At
mean?
some point. You know what I'm saying?
Come around to the family. And my boy did. After the Pittsburgh game, he looked me dead in my face when Dak had that 43-second drive, that game-winning drive. He looked at me dead in my face and said, I'm riding with Dak. We was out drinking together. He said, yeah, I'm riding with Dak now, bro. And it was because that was the threshold he needed to see. Some people don't hate Dak. Some people just want to see more. Like, I know Joe Trachino don't hate Dak. I know you don't hate Dak. It's just that some people needed to see more.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. So that's why I'm giving everybody grace to just go ahead and come on into the family. Let's go ahead and get on the ride and forgive the past and let's just move forward.
Yeah, because at this point, at this point of the game, there should be no doubt. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, that's what I'm saying. We should be past all that, because I think he's put up more than enough to be understandable. You know what I'm saying? For people to show the boy his love. So,
stop all this ignorant stuff like, y'all act like he's Aaron Rodgers. Y'all act like
he's our Aaron Rodgers. That's all I'm gonna say, man. But
what we're saying is he's a franchise quarterback, okay? And a franchise quarterback is basically somebody that you can pretty much say, in terms of looking for a quarterback, we're done. We feel like this is the guy that can lead us there, and we have to build around. That's really what a franchise quarterback is. So none of us are really just trying to say Dak is God, Dak is elite. We just say that we trust him based on the work that he's put out, that we can build around him. Can we all agree on that?
yes.
I mean, so as long as we agree
And
on
now,
that,
to be honest with you, like, now you got to start looking at your quarterback differently, man, because, like, if you said Dak was average in 2018, what do you consider him now after that game on Sunday? That's it. We're going to leave it there. It's a rhetorical question. All right, hey, we had some update in the nation today, man. Jeff Heath is being said to have a football-related thing going on, injury. They're not really saying it's like an injury, so, I don't know if he's going to be not active or not. But I know something that did happen today. Donovan Wilson did return back to practice. Donovan Wilson, that same guy that had 3 interceptions in preseason. I want to know, man, if both these guys are healthy, who do you want to see starting alongside Xavier Woods?
I mean, I would want that Wilson to start, but it's not going to happen. I mean, it's going to take some kind of Romo type of thing where he's going to have to get injured or have to have a trash game. And that generally doesn't happen when he's at least late. Like, he is somebody that's a serviceable starter at this point. He's not an elite starter. He's not a trash starter. He's a middle-of-the-road starter at this point.
And that's coming from a Heath hater. I had to throw that in there.
I'm still a former Heath hater because I started changing on him as I saw him get a little bit better on his ankles. And I told him that to his face. I did not even shy away from it. And West Coast did the same thing, told him to his face, hey, man, you fix that. And when you make a correction with me, I'm cool. So, but at the same time, like, I don't want to even throw Heath away. I think Heath might, with the pressure, if we can get it, come up with the ball. he might. You know what I mean? So I'm still open to it. But right now, the hot hand coming out of preseason is Donovan Wilson. But also, you have to factor in politics with the Dallas Cowboys, or you're going to be wrong in your analysis. Right?
Yeah, you have to. And then think about this. I mean, no shade on Heath, but I mean, he only led the team 2 years in interception. So, you know, when everybody else wasn't getting their hands on the ball, he was kind of still getting his hands on the ball. You know what I'm saying? I know we put a lot of, you know, Heath is just that low-hanging fruit. When everything goes bad, you can always blame Jeff Heath because he always seems like he's on the field. You know what I'm saying? But if he's always on the field, that means what? He got to be playing decent at some point. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Jeff Heath has his moments, but he has his moments. You know what I'm saying? If I have to choose right now, I obviously want to see Donovan Wilson out there. The streak of no interceptions that was broken. Why? Because we didn't get an interception. We didn't get no interception this week. No, we didn't, right? No, we got a fumble. Yeah, we didn't get no interception, so that streak was broken. So I would have definitely liked to get one of those. And a guy like Eli, who's been known to throw interceptions, you definitely would have liked to see to get one out there. You know what I'm saying? But you know. I mean, I'm kind of like with you. You know, I would think that Chris Richard would have a little bit more autonomy that to be able to make that decision. Like if Kellen Moore is able to be like, no, Jason Witten, you're only going to pay 60% of the snaps. You know, that we ain't taking it back to 98. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like if he can do that and he's only been in his position one game, why can't Chris Richard do that? Like why can't Chris Richard make that call and be like, yo, Donovan Wilson, you're playing? Like if I like that's. Like, he should be playing, bro. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or about it. Like, the kid should be playing.
Hey, can I slow that down a little bit and kind of ride that wave that you just laid up for me for a major dunk?
Absolutely.
Man, that tells you a lot about Chris Richard that we have to consider. Like, he's also in the political camp. You just have to be honest about it because none of us can say that about Rob Marinelli.
Ron Marinelli gonna play who he want to play, and that's why Tristan Hill was not activated. And that's why Tristan Hill was not activated.
It shows you that it's a little bit of Jason Garrett and Chris Richard. Let's just be honest about it. I know a lot of people want to shoot me down for saying that, but all you gotta do is look at Anthony Brown, and he always getting these reps when they the ones that's getting beat. I mean, when you look in the camera, which Chris Richard did and said, Lewis is my exception to my height rule, right? Meaning I don't count it against him because he's not my ideal height. Well, why is this guy not playing?
True.
Why? Because we know if it was Rod, he would be starting. And he would have been starting when West Coast last year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we know Rod plays the best man. Rod picked Tristan Hill at 58 and still did not what?
Activate him.
Activate him. Why? Because he was not ready.
He wasn't ready.
Which is a real coach. Somebody that can say, you know what? This guy was my favorite, but the film didn't lie. So I gotta go with the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of people are high on Chris Richard, but that tells me that there's a political little bone in his body. I'm just being all the way honest. And I don't have no favorites. I'm sorry. I'm just call it like it's a spade is a spade. Because look, how many people got to reward Jordan Lewis, West Coast?
How many balls does he have to knock down in the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, they said he was a standout player at OTAs. He was ranked 6th or 7th in the training camp. PFF, even outside of Dallas, just said, you know what? I watched the Dallas tape, and this guy number 27 looked like the best nickel, not just on Dallas, in the league.
Yeah.
In the league.
In the whole league. Hey, Boo, you know I love you, man.
He's still battling for a job. What kind of politics is this? So basically, like I heard, I was listening to the fan, and even like, you know, KT, and then was like, I just don't get it. Like it's a big old mystery going on that we've all been trying to figure out. What's the theory or what's the I don't want to hear nothing about height and all of this because he's about the same size as Anthony Brown. I'm sorry. It's like at some point when we go play the best men in our secondary, Chris Richard, I'm gonna put it on you.
Yeah, and my Cowboys family just said some bombshell. He said Chris Richard needs to be listened to more often. I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, at the same time, man, you know, you making some really, really good points, Boss Cowboy, man. Like at some point, like Chris Richard, you have to know you have to know that you have some type of, what they say, doing anything for clout. Like, you have some clout, man. You have a big stick. You have a big stick that you can wave yourself. Why? Because you've earned that through what you've already did. Like, we think about this. Imagine you telling a coach, hey, we're gonna hire you as our DB coach. Okay, you're gonna be our DB coach. The only problem is we don't have any DBs. What do you mean? We're gonna let our starting safety, our starting strong safety and free safety walk. That's Barry Church. He's going to go to Jacksonville. We're going to let Wilcox go to Tampa Bay. Then we're going to let both of our corners walk, too. We're going to let Maurice Claiborne go to New York Jets. And then we're going to let Brandon Carr, who's never missed a game in his career, we're going to let him go to Baltimore. Okay? And then your starting safety is going to be a guy we're going to put from your safety. He ain't played cornerback in 2 years. All right? You ready? Let's go. And guess what? He did that. So you have clout, bruh. He has a big stick. There's no reason why we should see politics, bro. Like it should be a politic-free zone. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I said this last year about Jordan Lewis. Like, Chris Richard, I love you, man. I really, really love you. But at the same time, bro, like I love Jerry Jones too. And I always say this about people I love. I say, I love you, but I know you. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this, Rashard, like, if you keep on saying that Jordan Lewis is the exception, like, when does that exception start? Like, when does that begin? Because right now, what we're seeing is the same crap we saw with other politics. So you can't be mad if we're playing spades and we're calling a spade a spade. Like, that's just what it is. You can't, I mean...
Right. I mean, we still, like, and I have to say, Anthony Brown has improved. Right?
Oh, yeah, he has, but he had the time to improve, too. Dude had you had 4 years, bro.
But you still missing tackles that Jordan Lewis wouldn't have missed, right?
Arm tackling. I think somebody on my Instagram said, West Coast, you need to talk about the DBs out there arm tackling.
I mean, you can't say Uze was arm tackling, and you can't say Jordan Lewis was arm tackling. You can't.
Jordan Lewis a banger.
I mean, the person that you're referring to is Anthony Brown, and that's the person who generally. Look, I did the stats on this. I'm going to go ahead and release that video probably this week. Because, see, I'm very, very adamant about this because I did deep dive film on these guys. And in my film, I have evidence that Anthony Brown has caught 16 touchdowns since he's been playing for us. Jordan Lewis 4, Owuzie 3, and Jones 2.
Damn.
16, 2, 4, 3. Come on, bro. And this is a competition? And then the person that got the most penalties and holding calls, guess who? Anthony Brown. And the person that loses against the least amount of competition is Anthony Brown. It's all on my tape. I just need to release it. Maybe this is the week to release it. Maybe I need to release it and then y'all help me make it viral. Okay? Because if y'all share it, I guarantee it's going to go viral because it's going to be so obvious. It's like, bruh. 16, and I got every one of them where he was caught on. And guess what he gets where he loses the worst? In breaking routes. He just always loses on in breaking routes. Ends and slants, he's dead too. It's like you might as well just give up the first down. And then people always say we have four good corners. Where? Show me somewhere else in the league to where a person is still starting with 16 touchdowns that you caused.
Yeah.
It ain't nowhere in the league to only with Dallas because somebody at the top, I like this guy. He's my kind of guy. I just think if we just give him a million chances like we did Jeff Lee, he's going to come around and he might. Well, how many touchdowns is he going to give up on the way?
That's true. And you got to think like this. It's probably easier to sign a 6th-round pick than it is to sign a whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take that in consideration, too. The Cowboys are always thinking about the money, so you always got to be thinking about the money, too. Jose said he was asking, is Donovan Wilson back? He's back at practice today. Practice report said he was limited. You know what I'm saying? Limited is the only one step away from, him being limited, him being a full practice. You know what I'm saying? But, I still think that he misses 2 games. You know what I'm saying? When Jason Garrett first said it, he said that he was going to be out a few games. A few in my mind is 2 plus 1. But if he's back at practice already, I definitely am okay with thinking he's going to miss 2 games, especially if Jeff Heath is not ruled out. And then you got to say it like this. Even if he's activated, like Jeff Heath is still going to get the opportunity to start. So it's like he probably won't even I mean, I'm just saying just how things have gone. You know what I'm saying? If this was another team, Donovan Wilson would be starting. Like, they go so all in on rookies quick, especially because they're inexpensive, like they're cheap. They'll be like, dang, Donovan Wilson makes this amount, and he's on a 4-year deal. Jeff Heath has 1 more year on his deal. Donovan Wilson, how you doing? Let's get in there and start and see what you can do. You know what I'm saying? That's how most teams think. But
exactly, and it's good economics too.
yeah, it makes sense for Donovan Wilson to start. Why? Because you have 4 years of him starting before you even got to talk to him about another contract.
And you got a ton of data that says that covers you, right?
Yeah.
You have PFF saying, out of all the safeties that we all was in love with, because did you love Adderley? I did. Did you love Thornhill? I did. But when they all practiced, PFF said out of all of them, it was one of them that was the best. They said the guy we got in the 6th round was, why wouldn't you give that guy an opportunity, right? He has 3 interceptions coming out of preseason. He's the hype of preseason. There's no better time than to give him a shot. At least work him in.
Yeah,
right?
and what you really show also is you also show these guys that you get that practice actually matters. If I'm balling at practice and balling at preseason and I don't get no playing time, I'm like, bruh, what the hell? Like, that math is weird. Like, football, like, practice is supposed to matter, and you're supposed to be like, dang, and you get on the field and you get your opportunity. Like, that's how Victor Cruz was a guy that nobody knew about until he got 160 yards in a preseason game. And you know what the Giants did, said? We got Odell, but that little dude about to start. He about to play. And next is history. Like, you should always be looking for the come up. And it just looks like sometimes the Cowboys will put their friendship before they put before the come up, man.
Yeah, friendships and favorites is I call it that trading places between Mortimer. $1.
$1, Mortimer.
It's somebody at the top that's like, I have a feeling that Anthony Brown is going to be something else. And you know, that Jordan Lewis guy, I just don't know. And then, you know, I have a feeling that Armstrong is going to be the next tank. We just need to keep going with that guy. But that Taco, his attitude, I mean, they look for little petty reasons after they bet against you to then keep betting against you. And when they bet on you, they just keep betting. They don't know when to pull it back. I mean, just like Taco, man. Come on, bro. Like, what you said was so epic, and I hope it didn't go over none of our head, brother. What you just said was so real that, man, I don't kiss men, but if you was right here at West Coast, your forehead, I would do this to it. You know what I mean? Because in a man way, like in a Greek way or an Italian way, I would kiss your forehead like that, you know? Because listen, brother, practice and performance under the lights should matter. I mean, should matter. How can you have Taco? I know I just switched to Taco, but hey, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You rolling.
How can Taco ball under the lights? We all see it, and then we look up and he's inactive. And then we say, game 1, where was pass rush?
Oh my God.
We obviously know they managing Tank, Shoulder, and all that kind of stuff. They pulled his rep, so that's what happened with pass rush too. But the guy that was obviously on the upswing, we just threw him on the shelf. Like all the noise that he was making in preseason was a lie.
And like it didn't mean anything to you either.
Yeah, like you saw him at training camp killing. It was announced every day that he was killing on the upside. You saw him in the games killing. He was the player of the game like 2 times on defense. I mean, multiple sacks, pressures, everything you want to see.
Why would you slow that down?
Everything you want to see, and then all of a sudden, he's inactive. And then we supposed to just be like, the Cowboys must have a different plan. And we just going to go along with this. Well, let's just call it what it is. Typical Dallas politics. Because it's the same thing with Jordan Lewis, where you just scratching your head and you trying to figure out,
why is this guy playing?
Why am I watching the guy make plays, not play?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, we talked to Taco's personal trainer, Coach Tuck. We had him on the show a couple months ago, and he told us some things just on Taco, how the Cowboys have used him in the past, and the whole situation that happened last year about his attitude. And to be honest with you, it 100% made sense. You know what I'm saying? Taco was balling again in preseason last year, was making progression. Randy Gregory got activated, and guess what? Taco went back to the end of the line, lost all his playing reps, and it was all given to Randy Gregory. Now, I love Randy Gregory. That's my boy, man. And that's not even against Randy Gregory. That has nothing to do with Randy Gregory. Has to do 100% with the coach that did it. And my question is, why is it that we have a first-round draft pick that nobody has his back? It feels like nobody has his back, man. And I'm like, it feels like nobody in this organization is on the table saying, give this guy an opportunity. And guess what? Someone had to have been saying that if he was a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and the Dallas Cowboys obviously have some type of doghouse. I mean, it's obvious, and people don't believe that this happens. It happened. I saw it in college, I saw it in middle school, I saw it in high school, every level of football that I've ever played, and I definitely heard this happen in the pros. That sometimes when you get a certain coach's doghouse, they just don't let you out. They don't let you up. They put their foot on you, and it's gonna be forever. You're not gonna get your chance as long as I'm the coach. That's why sometimes when you see certain coaching changes, you see certain players explode because they was the ones that was in the doghouse.
Like the Rams with Fisher.
Yeah, perfectly stated, brother. Goff was in a doghouse with Fisher. And then as soon as West Coast, I do like doing shows with you, bro. I really do. And see, like somebody said this in a good point, Rob. I can't fight you on this. They said Taco is trade bait. Now, West Coast said this yesterday and the day before. I heard Mike Fisher say it today, and it made me even more proud of West Coast. Not that we looked to Mike Fisher to get our own thoughts, but it just confirmed that it's people that think alike that know this team. Mike Fisher said today, if you're looking at Taco for trade bait, why you not go play him?
Exactly. You want to know why? Because that means that
I heard you say it 2 times. I said it yesterday because you said it, and I was like, it just makes sense. If you're trying to sell a car, we got to at least test drive it. Let's put it out there and see how, put it on the highway. Ooh, oh yeah.
You're trying to trade him off of preseason film. That is dumb.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest thing in the world. And then I saw a tweet today from it wasn't even a tweet. It was on one of them Cowboy pages, and he was basically saying that the Cowboys, a bunch of stuff we already knew. That in my opinion, I definitely think that the Cowboys have already negotiated something. It's just a matter of it getting done. Now, I'm very curious to see if Taco is active this weekend. Like, I'm very interested. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if Taco starts vocalizing his discomfort of being inactivated, I would have no problem with it. You don't know why? Because you're playing with this man's career now, especially if he's a healthy scratch. Like, I'm sorry, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if nobody in the organization is listening, guess what? You got to voice it somewhat. And AB got on there and said, release me. Taco, I don't know. Maybe you need to say the same thing because it's not benefiting your career by sitting there. And guess what? And think about this, Taco, if they did release you, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. That same team that's trying to trade for you is going to offer you a contract. That's it. That's it. If I'm sorry. Like with the Cowboys, like I love the star, but I'm not the best. I'm not the coolest with Jerry Jones. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the coolest with him. Why? Because I don't like the way he do young men. I don't like it. I'm 37 years old. Every single person on this team is younger than me except for LP. I think LP up there with me. You know what I'm saying?
My boy Terrence, I got much love for you. I kicked it with you this weekend, but he said we tripping. He said it's smart. I don't really see how it's smart when you really if you're trying to sell a car, you got to at least let the person that's trying to buy it test drive it. The way that you test drive it is put real film on it. If you're trying to trade it.
If you're trying to trade it, I mean, what are you going to get for preseason film?
It's not smart in my opinion because that position alone is where you want depth. Everybody always preaches for a reason, and we saw it in this Giants game. I don't want us to get cocky over whooping the Giants. We saw at this Giants game that we had no pass rush. Every one of us was high-fiving over the win, but then the smartest fans started saying, hey, where was that pass rush?
Where was the pass rush? Exactly. While we up here trying to hold off. And think about this. Here's the thing about it is, people think that this is Madden, where you could just trade for a guy and then insert him into your roster, and he's playing this week. No. Did AB play this week? No, he did not. Okay, why? Then guess what? Now you got what are you going to trade him for? I want to know if you're trading AB, if you're trading Taco for a player right now, it don't even make no sense. You want to know why? Because next week, Robert Quinn is going to be eligible to come back. So you're going to have to release somebody anyway. So if you trade Taco for a player, you're going to have to release somebody else unless you're going to trade Taco for a practice player, and that's dumb. So that's not even a thought. You're going to trade Taco for someone who could possibly contribute. That is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm asking, what position do you think there's nowhere on the offensive line that you're going to get somewhere. Everybody on the offensive line is signed for 2023. So you're not going to do that.
Terrence raised a good point. He said if he comes in and blows, his value goes down.
Yeah, but my thing is this. What value do you have? Obviously, you don't have a trade partner right now if you're not even playing, if you haven't traded him. So that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense. The only reason why making him inactive made sense is if you knew you were trading him on Monday. But if you ain't even traded him. So guess what that means? You're asking and they're saying, we haven't seen enough. You know what? Nah, we're cool. So why would you not go get more film?
Right, and let me bring up one more point to that, West Coast. Me and you said this, that Michael Jackson was good to go ahead and not make him a part of the roster. Now, a lot of people beat us up on that. But this is why we said that it ended up being true. Because the last film that he put out there was horrible.
Horrible.
So when you put out real bad film, nobody's going to bet on you, right? So we knew if we let him go that he was going to make it through the waivers because no GM is going to put their signature on somebody that had the last film as bad. The last film on Taco is good.
It's really good.
It's really good. So what you really want to do is try to bet on upside. What you really want to do is try to do stunts that free him up that artificially creates more value in him to where instead of getting a 5th rounder, you can maybe talk a team into a 3rd round. You know what I mean? And you want to put some film on him that where if somebody gets an injury, they get desperate and they can justify it from the film that this is worth the risk. But preseason is not going to be enough for a GM to put his job on the line for a former 1st rounder. And to me, it signals trouble, right? Because then somebody's going to ask the question, if he is so good and if we go give up a 5th rounder, 4th rounder, 3rd rounder, why is he inactive? Why is he worth it? If he was so worth it, why can't he beat out Armstrong? But we all know from watching the film and watching the lights that he already did that.
I mean, right? He should have been able to beat out Joe. I mean, Joe Jackson is cool, but Joe Jackson is not better than Taco. Like, stop it. Like, there's no reason that Joe Jackson was active, getting reps, and Taco was on the sidelines. That made absolutely no sense. I don't care what nobody say. And even if you don't want to, my thing is this, like, everybody has an opportunity. Taco don't have film right now for you to be out there and saying, I want to show you guys this preseason film, even though the regular season started. I want to show you this preseason film on this guy from 3 weeks ago. Like, the further you get away from that preseason game, the more worthless the film is. It was preseason. Most of them dudes that he did it against, and this not even no shade on him. But some of them dudes ain't even in the league no more. Not even on teams. So you need valuable film against current starters. Like, that makes no sense. What it really sounds like is the Cowboys probably had a trade partner, and then after week 1, whoever they was gonna trade with probably saw something in somebody else and was like, you know what? You know how you be like, you be looking for someone on offer up and you be looking for something and you be like, dang, I like this, and you'll stall them because you look trying to get a better price on this other one that you like. That's probably what happened. Monday they probably hit him up like, all right, are you guys ready? I'm ready to send the Taco over. And you know what? They was probably like, you know what? Let me try one more week with our guys. Let's
talk real quick. Let me pull a quick audible if that's okay.
Go up. What's up?
I want to kick a special shout out to a special supporter, Wendy. I watched our show yesterday, and when I tell you Wendy was trying to tag everybody to get them on the show, what's going on, Wendy, is that Facebook is tripping, and they sent West Coast a notification that it's going to be fixed on 17. When I tell you she was going out of her way to really try to help people get on the show, I just want to kick her a special shout out, because when I see special effort like that, I want to give you a special acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what you were saying.
My boy Terrence says, if a team is desperate, they will come off anything. Yes, but if a team is desperate, why would they trade for a guy who hasn't played since the preseason? That doesn't sound like you're going to request.
They will go with option B.
Yeah, like you wouldn't do that. Like Taco hasn't played. Like think about that. Now you're trading a guy who hasn't played in 2 weeks. How, like that doesn't make sense. Like why would I trade for that? How do I know he's in shape? How do I know he's ready to go right now? Am I trading for a guy who's going to have to take then 2 weeks to get ready? Like, no, you trade for guys who can play. We traded for Amari Cooper. You know what he did? He played. We had a bye week, and he was out there playing, having a career day.
Yeah, and a good example on Cooper from this standpoint. Remember that Jerry, the first thing Jerry and Steven said is they looked at what on Cooper?
The film.
They said they looked at film. They knew about the drops. They knew about all of that before they made the trade. They looked at film. So like West Coast said, and I agree with this. And you know, Terrence, my boy, man. I mean, I really like Terrence. That's when we kick it hard.
We can't make man.
This is just real football talk that we having with a scout.
Man, you ain't stop giving all these goddamn viewer discretion advice. Stop all that, man. Terrence know what's up, man. I just smelled Terrence fart, man. He didn't even know, man. He was pooting in that room. I heard you, Terrence. Now you in there pooting in that other room, man. Nasty.
Feeling real good, man. He fed me some of that good old burnt chicken, man.
Hey, you know what though? It was the best burnt chicken at 9 o'clock, at 11 o'clock at night though.
Joe say, yeah. Check us out in the morning, Joe. Hey, Joe. Appreciate you all with me, Italy. Love you, brother. But yeah, man. But going back to the point, and the biggest point is still to me is that our team is putting too much weight on Will McClay, and I think from this standpoint, and I said this yesterday, I'm gonna repeat it obviously. Will McClay as far as that he has given us so much value and so much depth that we sometimes throw it away.
Yep.
And I was listening to Will McClay, and they asked him a question. They said, "What is the biggest thing you learned about being in Dallas?" You know what he said?
Matching personality. I mean, I know because I heard it.
Go ahead and say it since you know.
Basically, I mean, it was what I asked him too about. That's why I asked him about it when I saw him too. I just wanted to see if he was just talking just to be talking. So I basically asked him the same question, but he basically saying, you know, how to match. You got to match personalities. Like a guy can date, a guy can have. Like a guy has to fit in. And when I asked him that same question, I said, "What's the, you know, how big is like character and da 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 da?" I forget the exact question, but it's on my Instagram. You can go look it up. But Will McClay, that's what he said again. Like, you know, a guy, you know, having that right attitude and the right culture. I'm like, what the heck? So what about them dudes that's just like bad, but they really fast? Like them guys can't play. Like I ain't gonna lie, my homeboy Dante Jackson, man, my boy was just bad, man. He was bad. But oh my God, when you put a football in his hands, he cut my hair to this day. But yeah, when you put a football in his hands, oh my God, he was something special. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it just be like that sometimes. Like you're a coach, you get paid to deal with personalities. They say Phil Jackson was a great coach because he knew how to handle personalities. Like Dennis, or like how do you get Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, all these guys to buy in? All these guys have all accomplished something. You know what I'm saying? You like how do you get like they was trying to ban Dennis Rodman. You know what Phil Jackson said? Give him to me. That's what he said. Give him to me. You know what I'm saying? 2 rings later, man. So it's like that's a part of your job is managing personalities. Like that's why Belichick. That's another reason. Like with Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing that like when Belichick. That's why he's able to take AB because he's like, yo, we took Randy Moss, and guess what? A lot of times when you get people in that and you give them fresh opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, a dynamic that people aren't talking about when people talk about AB in this whole situation. AB also went to a team where he's not the best player on the team. That helps. And guess what? You can bring in guys when you have a guy on your team who's known as one of the best in the NFL. Like when you go to the Raiders, you're looked at as the guy now. You're in a position of authority. He go to the Patriots, no, bruh. What are you talking about? Tom is still to go. What he says goes. And guess what? Behind him is the coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
my brother. I was really into what you were saying, and you know I do think we still running the risk. See, because like I call off season the time of illogical optimism and pride.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the time that we fall in love with our draft picks and our free agents to where we start saying to opportunities that are out there, we're good.
That's when Denver said, no, we don't want Tony Romo. We're gonna go with this Brock. Hey, what did Denver say? We're gonna go with this Brock guy.
We're gonna go with Brock Osweiler.
You know, Tony, no, we're cool, Tony. Not even for a 3rd round pick. No.
Off season, we are low key doing the same thing. That's why we playing games with Taco, Anthony Brown, different assets that can actually help us win a ring. Because see, you gonna knock out people like the Giants. We gonna slap around Tim, but when we get into that bottom four, and you sitting there now, and I'm giving everybody for one. When Gordon's sitting out there with AB in the slot,
and that game is gonna be bananas, bro.
That first round draft pick that New England got as the number 3 receiver,
bro.
Or who you want your secondary to be in?
Bro.
Who you want then?
Bro.
I want Lewis, I want Jones, and I want, you know what I mean? You know,
Bro. Think of the players think of the people.
Cause see, cause guess what? I didn't even count with Anthony Brown, the Houston game, with Hopkins with the triple spin. The triple spin started off of him. If he would have just made the tackle, we got a chance to still win that game. So just going back to
hey, his defense though, Hopkins beat him off the top. He beat him on the route. He beat him coming off the line. Hopkins beat him.
Yeah. So and so it's like my thing is this: we giving fair warnings on things that we should be loud about. We shouldn't be quiet about this, and we shouldn't just take this as fans. We should be very vocal about things we want to see. Because I sincerely believe if you win the crowd, you win the freedom. And the Cowboys, they have an analytics team, believe that. The more they send hashtag Lewis, hashtag start Lewis, and you see stuff trending, they start thinking about the economics behind our opinion, and they start making decisions. That's why they care about the crowd. Believe that. If they didn't care about the crowd, they wouldn't do all this public PR before they make moves. Before they fired Dez Bryant, they did a PR hit job on him first. You understand? They start talking about him being a cancer, which was opposite of what James Slater was saying and what the locker room was saying. But they needed to sour the fan base before they cut him, because if they would have just cut him, it would have been like a big revolt against it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing they did with Zeke and his contract. They soured his name as they was trying to, make leverage against him. They was trying to make him look greedy. Right now, a whole lot of the Cowboy fans believe that Dak really asked for $40 million.
Well, shoot, after Sunday's performance, I'll tell you like this: if Dak have another one of them performances on Sunday, Monday morning I'm coming out. Hell yeah, I said I want 40. That's all I'm saying. Hell yeah, I said it.
I said it.
Yeah, I said it.
I said it. But see, this is the crazy thing. We're gonna pivot off this. This is another pivot we're getting ready to do. You know the crazy thing, West Coast? Crazy. I posted something like in the group, and I said, man, it's so quiet about Dak money. Like, I was hearing, like, especially on certain networks and stuff, where Dak is not worth, boom, 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 boom. Now, all of a sudden, you're not hearing any kind of pessimism about Dak's enumeration. You're not hearing that, right? And I put that out, I said, I'm not hearing anything about that. You know what I started hearing in response? Dak is not worth $40 million. You're crazy. But I pay him $35.
Yeah, so basically you won't pay him 40, but you're okay with making him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Well, I was crying. I said, are you serious? I said, okay, cool. So I guess the $40 million campaign worked against the Joneses. You know what I mean? Because they obviously put that out there to side with the fan base. But now that number out there and he putting up big numbers, now people are saying, I settle with 35, not even knowing that 35 makes him the highest paid. Through all categories.
That's very true. That's very, very true. Well, shoot, man, we've been on here for about an hour and 20. We appreciate everybody that's been tuning in tonight, man. Remember, you guys, this is going to be our normal show hours. Make sure you guys tune in every night from 6 p.m. in California, 8 p.m. out there in Texas, and 9 p.m. out there in Florida, in the East Coast, basically. Shoot, man, before we get up out of here, Boss Cowboy, man, you want to let them know where you coming from, man?
Yeah, man, please go to my Twitter page if you're a Twitter head, and it's going to be under the Twitter handle, Cowboy_Boss. Everything else is going to be Boss Cowboy Sports. I just dropped my game recap. And my game recaps, man, I'm not going to just kind of pat myself on the back, but I'm going to...
You gonna pat yourself on the back on this one?
I'm doing, man, because there's a lot of stuff I hit on in there. The evidence of what I said came on late. I touched on Joe Lewis. I talked about, obviously Dak, but kind of nuggets on that. And I talk about stuff that most people kind of shy away from. I tell the truth. So if you want to hear the real.
Before we get out of here, man, let me get your final point on this final subject, man. And that is Ezekiel Elliott made a statement, or they had an interview that he basically said that he is ready for a regular workload as far as his snaps and carrying the ball and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that? Because after this show, we won't be talking about the Giants anymore, so we can go ahead and just say our first little tidbit on the Washington Redskins. What are your thoughts?
Segue, man, and my segue is Zeke is being who Zeke is. Zeke is not lying when he does this. Zeke wants the ball, right?
Yep.
But Zeke needs to kind of chill just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Let them manage him. You know what I mean? Because he is just not coming back. He didn't go through training camp. I like how they managed the reps of everybody, including him.
Yep.
We all know he starts slow anyway. We know he go get in the zone. We all know that. You know
it's just gonna make it better for everybody.
Yeah, just and then also let's use Zeke a little bit less now, because we want it to be known in the league that we can also beat you throwing. Because once that's fully understood, it's gonna make it better for you later, Zeke. You know what I mean? Because right now they always planning for you. Let's take some pressure off Zeke by showing that we can beat you in the air, so that when we go back to Zeke, instead of getting 5 yards per carry, he'll get 8. Because now you got to truly be disciplined in reading your keys, because you have to account for the pass as well as the run. So I do understand the competitive side of Zeke, and he like, man, feed me the ball.
Yeah.
But I do love the common sense management that we've been seeming to have with the absence of Scott Linehan. I'm seeing a lot of common sense, quality personnel management as well as game management, and I want to let them work.
I my take on it is this: I love the fact that he wants the load. I think he got a pretty good load, but at the same time, I think Zeke probably needs to understand that about 20 carries is where he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to do it. If we're going to be able to throw the ball this effectively. So my biggest thing is this: when they have a weak front, no, you ain't gonna have to ask the ball, because we gonna give it to you over and over and over. But when you're playing the Washington Redskins, the film says you need to throw the ball on these dudes. That's what the film says. The film does not say that we should just play Buddy Mary with Ezekiel Elliott and just keep running him into this front four that they built good on purpose. Why? They built it through the draft. Nobody on their front four was on their team on accident. All of them dudes was drafted. That means they knew what they was doing when they did it. Just like with our offensive line. We didn't accidentally get this great offensive line. We drafted them dudes. All of them. We wanted a good offensive line on purpose. And guess what? Washington wants a good defensive line on purpose. And they're expecting to have a good defensive line. Yes, Zeke rushed for 98 yards last year against them. I don't even look at the game at home when we played them, because we're not playing them at home. We're playing them on the road. But the Dallas Cowboys cannot go into this game thinking that we're just going to pound the ball with Zeke and we're going to beat the Washington Redskins. Because it's not going to happen, man. Their defensive line, and you're going to get your running back beat up for no reason. Anytime where Zeke, if we're damn near in the second quarter and Zeke is still averaging 2 point something per carry, that means their defensive line is playing well. Throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? If you earn the right to play the play action. But my biggest thing right now is this Washington front is not one that predicates Zeke, and you're playing on grass. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be. I know that was for my football players. You guys will get that, but you're not going to. When you want to throw the ball, man. You want to watch this Washington team, especially after what Dak just did. You need to be. Dak should be wanting to do it again, and I'm gonna give him the opportunity to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my take on it.
It sets up for a better season as well. Because people kind of poo-pooing on the Giants. Well, they were the Giants. Yeah, if Dak come out here and throw on the Redskins, people will be like, okay, we need to account for that. And once they start to account for it, it's just going to be better. So y'all stay with us. Because, look, we've been ready to talk about the Redskins. I looked at my notes. how long have we been ready to talk about the Redskins? Since June?
Yeah.
Man, we do a deep dive in the Redskins in June, bro. We just never got to it because there's a lot of contract stuff going on, a lot of breaking news. But literally, we already did our homework on these balls. Like, we are ready to go in on the floor. So it's a lot of stuff going on both sides. You can get educated. I promise you. We ready to talk about them. Believe that. It's not going to be surface at all.
Absolutely, man. And so, man, hey, shoot, man, you already know what it is, man. He is Boss Cowboy, man, by way of Boss Cowboy Sport. I'm your boy, West Coast, man. I want to give a couple love to my boy Terrence out there. Give some love to Wendy. Hey, Wendy actually hit me with some breaking news today about Donovan Wilson. I didn't even know I was out doing things in the world, and she's the one that actually sent me the tweets and the stuff letting me know that Donovan Wilson was back at practice. So shout out to you, Sprout, for being on your job, being clocked in at all times. Shout out to you, Miss Wendy. Hey, you guys already know what it is, man. I'm West Coast, man. He Boss Cowboy. Let me change the screen so you can have both of our faces on here. I'm West Coast. He's Boss Cowboy. You guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the star is up.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
it.
man West Coast in this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!